Recording in progress.
What it do? Well, do what it do? It is your boy and Luke. So, making Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with? As always, Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggy. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 8. South African Pride. Welcome.
You're all choppy, bro. You got that choppy chop connection.
It's already saying my internet connection is unstable. I don't maybe it's like where I'm at in my house. I don't even get it.
Do you have a router? Are you like on the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fizzle, bro? You gotta get just an Ethernet cable and just you can buy like flat white ones and just run it from there, and you can just plug it in directly. You just
it's all the way in the garage.
Yeah, I mean I got one that's like 150 feet. They're like $20. Cause you'd be choppy sloppy, but it's all good. We'll power through.
Okay.
But what's up, man?
What's going on?
Same old shit. Took 3 days off last week. It was magical. And then went to some work event to the horse races for the Preakness. And watched a bunch of people gamble on horses. It was pretty chill, but I got...
Journalism 1.
Got a bunch of fucking sleep. Bunch of sleep. Which has been fantastic. And in my backyard, they're putting this fence up. It's going to be a fortress, bro. I'll send you a picture. It's like almost a 10-foot tall fence. It's epic. So it's not finished, but I've just got mad steel pipes just like wrapped around my backyard. And then it'll be some big fuck off privacy fence. I'm really excited about it because I got a lot of MAGA neighbors and people that always are watching what the fuck I'm doing when I'm doing yard work. Like, is he the help? I'm like, no, I'm the homeowner. So it'll be nice to have a fence nicer than everybody else around me. You know, just keeping up with the Joneses. I'm just the Jones you got to keep up with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, it's there are times where I'll be like I think I've said it before on the pod where I'm outside doing yard work and they like walk out arbitrarily and are like acting like they're watering their bushes and there's like no bush there. They're just like spraying water on their driveway, like watching me, and then they go back inside when they realize I notice them. So it'll be nice to have my big fence up, have a little bit of space, stay the fuck out of my yard, and obviously my voice is better. Yay! Yesterday is the best I felt. So like 9 days. I was just a shit show. Like everything hurt. My voice was gone. I was raspy as shit, and now it's back, man. Yay! Just in time for my work presentation today.
Nice.
Which no one wants to hear me talk, so I did a good job. But they're like, "All right, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up."
You did a good job. What was it about? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
It's just presenting numbers and stuff. I mean, everyone does a good job, but. I'm just a character, and I got jokes, and I troll while I'm doing it. So they don't like it all the time.
Gotcha.
Gotta keep it fresh. How are you, sir? What's new with you?
I'm good. Just been chilling. I was up in the studio, Splashpad Studios, over the weekend.
I was gonna say, dude, you hit me with some links on some fire bangers, and you've been posting them like crazy. Please elaborate.
Well, I was writing a song, a sad song. Well, as whatever. And so I was kind of just trying to figure out, like it was supposed to be like a country song, and then I just started like working on like some music, and then I like got this like thing where you can get vocals, like you can get like a AI vocal to spit your lyrics or whatever. So I made a song and then got like the AI to say the lyrics on it, and came out a straight banger. And then I was just like inspired, and then I just started I stayed up like all night, like just making music like all weekend.
Well, that's good. It's productive. Dropping bangers, AI bangers. And the AI music cracks me up though. Like the AI country songs that are just like trolling ass country songs are so funny. They're so funny.
Well,
Like
see, this is, I mean, this is like AI, like just like using the shit that I'm telling it to do. It's not like coming up with like the music, you know?
no, I think some people like write these songs that are like, "Hey, come up,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
country, sing this song," and they're just absolutely
Right.
absurd. Like sing this song like X Y Z or make this song da da da. I mean, you can do a lot with the AI, man.
That's
That's
true.
that's the AI stuff I like. That's where I'm like,
Right.
this is great. This is a good tool for just like goofing off or being creative and doing stuff, you know. But I don't think they should, you know, be in control of the world. But I
Definitely not.
digress. Some people would disagree. Any poker tales or
Um, I went, like, uh, didn't go well for me. Like I caught like a top pair of kings. Comes out, so now I have trips. I had king jack. This asshole had king 10, and a 10 comes out, so you got a full house.
damn?
Yeah, 6% chance to win that hand that guy had.
So do you
Tight.
crunch? Do you crunch those numbers like in your head, where you're like, you
Yes.
know, like the percentage chance that they have of winning it versus like what you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you always see that whenever you're like watching poker, and they're like, "Oh, they got this percent chance or this percent chance."
Well, it's like it's called expected value. So, if this is how you can make decisions at the poker table. So let's say there's uh $50 in the pot. Um, if somebody bets $10, that's 20 or not 10. Let's see. Hold on. 50. Okay, let's say there's $50 in the pot. Somebody bets. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think. Okay. So like a flush draw, for example. If you have a flush draw after the flop, you have a 36% chance to hit it on the turn or the river. Okay.
Okay.
So if somebody, okay, so if there's $50 in the pot, okay, how about this? There's $150 in the pot. Somebody bets 50. That's uh so there's 200 now, right? I'm getting 4-1 on my money if I call with 50, right? Because if I bet 50, I'm betting 50 to get $200 because there's $200 in there now because there's 150 in there. The guy bet 50. Um, so my decision is, do I want to put $50 in to make a $200 based on a flush draw? Well, if I'm getting 4-1 on my money and I have a 36% chance to hit it, uh, if you play that hand a million times, you'll make money, right?
Yeah.
Because you're getting 4-1. So like basically you want to get to at least 3-1, if it's that. If you have a 33% chance to hit it, you want to have make 3 times as much. That's breaking even. So anything more than that, it's a good bet. Anything less, fold.
Okay. That makes sense. I've just always wondered that because you'll see, like I said, the percentages pop up. I know there's got to be some sort of like internal numbers crunching that happens
Well,
whenever.
then I thought I told you like how you can do it, right? So figure out how many cards are that, like, let's say you're on, like, to make your hand, right? How many cards are left in the deck? Uh, so it depends on how many players are at the table. So like with, well, it doesn't really matter how many people are at the table. Okay, so with a flush draw, the reason why I know it's 36%, there's nine, so there's 13 cards on each suit, right? So if you're on a flush draw, that means there's four of that suit that's already out there, right? Somewhere, either on the board or in your hand. So that means 4 minus 13. There's nine. Let's say they're diamonds. There's 9 diamonds left somewhere. They could have been dealt out to somebody. They could be in the burn. They could be at the bottom of the deck, the top of the deck. You don't know where they are. They're just out there. There's 9 diamonds left. So if after the flop, if you whatever, however many cards that you, or that will make your hand, times that by 4, and that's the percentage of it to come out. And then after the turn, times it by 2. So if you're on a flush draw and all that's left is the river, you have an 18% chance to hit it.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like that's where I lose it all the time. Is I'm just like, oh yeah. Well, I'm like, I'm just gonna roll with it. Or I'm too committed to this pot to not keep going.
Right, and then there's a whole other aspect is like depends who you're playing against. It's like you might make certain decisions. You might like gamble a little bit more based upon like how loose this game is or how tight it is. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I got you. Well, that's pretty cool. I'll keep you updated. I need to get into this all dad poker game. This early 50s guy poker game and see how it goes. Supposed to have one sometime next month. So when they pick it back up, so I'm gonna try to go play. Yeah. I've always wanted to do some sort of poker live stream, but it's like a house game, and you would set up like a studio in like a room, and you could have a table and like have the works, and just have random people on, like random motherfuckers on, have a couple regulars, and then have different people on all the time, and make it like a poker game / like conversation style podcast / just live stream. I always thought that would be a cool idea. Cause they do that with like celebrities and stuff, but it's always like poker stars or something. But find like some random Joe Schmo motherfuckers and have them on and play cards. Obviously, they have to sign some waivers and shit. But I always thought that could be pretty fucking cool. You'd have to keep the locale under wraps though, so you don't get don't get raided.
Or you could just film it in Vegas.
True, but I mean, no, it'd be cool if it was like, oh, we're not supposed to do that here, but we're doing it anyways.
Well, how sustainable is that?
Decently. Use a VPN, It's possible. In the words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
No, okay.
Like the Eagles going back to back.
Big facts.
Shout out. You want to get into these therapy questions? You ready? Yeah. Ready, spaghetti? All right, therapy question number 1. Should we be more worried about leaving the planet or saving the planet? Because, you hear Elon Musk talk about we got to go to Mars. Oh, we got to do this. Or, the sun's going to burn out or the sun's going to explode and we're all going to die, which is hundreds of millions of years away. But either way, what do you think is more pivotal to the survival of the human race? Saving this planet or getting the fuck out?
Well, like, the Mars thing is stupid as fuck. Like, because if we can fix Mars to the point where we can live there, then we can fix the Earth, so we can just stay here. Makes no sense. But like, if like the sun was gonna explode, and that's the only reason, like that's why Earth's gonna die, or not be habitable. Yeah, then I'm obviously about getting the fuck out of here. But I'm saying like the same things we would need to do to figure out how to live on Mars, you could just do here. So it's like not one or the other.
See, yeah, I feel like saving the planet is more important than it is being worried about leaving. Because let's say the sun lives out its life cycle and explodes and dies. Number one, we'll be way far gone by the time that happens. Human civilization might have died out before that fucking happens. There's probably a higher likelihood of that happening than it is for humans to see the sun explode or burn out to where we don't have any more like sunlight and it becomes like a cold, desolate ice planet. Like the likelihood of a human seeing that has to be so small on a scale, like on a percentage scale of us even being alive to see that, because that's honestly like hundreds of millions of years away. Like when they talk about it, or Elon Musk talks about it, it's kind of fucking stupid because it's way far away. So I feel like in some ways we're wasting our time. Now I'm not saying investing in and trying to understand and getting us to the point to where we could leave this planet long distance and go explore deep space if we needed to, I think that's worth it. But in like the long run, to stay ahead of that curve. But when they're like, oh, we got to get to Mars in 5 years, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, no, we don't. There's no point to that. It doesn't make any sense.
5 years?
I'm just saying, whenever Elon,
I mean, we could. I mean, like, what do you mean get to Mars? Like humans? I mean?
yeah, like humans going to Mars, we're gonna build bases there, and we're gonna figure out how to terraform the planet. Right now, that sounds like a waste of time.
Yeah, I agree.
And resources and just manpower
100%.
when we could easily.
That's the thing. It's like, am I for like exploration of space and shit? Of course, but you're right. Like there are only so many resources, and we don't need to be using them just so like because Elon has like can't get hard anymore or something.
Or like maybe my dick will work on Mars. I just need to rub some Mars rocks on my dick and then it'll work. Like no, dude, it's gonna take way more than that. This blue chew's not working anymore. I
find it hard to believe that like he can't like dude, this guy puts chips in people's brains and gets them to like walk again. Like he can't get his own dick to work.
I think that's hyperbolic. I don't know if he's gotten anybody to walk again because I know some guy can play. I know some guy can play Call of Duty and use a mouse with his brain, allegedly. That's all we know. But I guarantee you, that dude's like this chip itches. This sucks. Like I just don't.
There wasn't. Yeah, the first guy. Like they did have to go back in and do it again because something messed up or something. But he was all about it.
Of course, I mean, I'm not to be a dick, but I'm pretty sure that guy was like borderline veggie. So it's not like he's like doing much. Like, yeah,
that's true. That's true.
They're like, yeah, you're like quadriplegic. Do you want to be able to use a computer? And he's like, hell yeah, like that would solve so many of my problems. All right, sweet. We're gonna put this in your brain. And what does he say? Like, what else do I have to lose? My ability to walk. Like that's been gone. Like would Greg Abbott risk it? Maybe he might. There's some people like that's like you could find somebody who's in need or is like physically disabled and convince them to put a microchip in their brain. If in a couple updates you'll be able to walk, like that's an easy sell for this fucking guy. Like it's not like he's finding like, hey, sports athlete, hey, person who's got all their who's all there. Let's talk about putting this chip in your brain. They would be like, fuck you, and they'd walk away. Like I don't know. It's kind of corny. I guess it's cool, but it's dumb. So with that, the deep space exploration, hell yeah. Terraforming planets with no atmosphere, it sounds like a waste of fucking time. It's honestly some like boomer ass, lame ass Gen X shit where they're like, I thought we would already be living on Mars. I watched Total Recall so many times in the 80s and I'm pissed that we're not there, so I'm gonna make it happen. Like they're almost disappointed with the future, so what they thought it would be. I remember watching Escape from New York and I thought New York City was gonna be a prison and Prison Island and Snake Plissken was gonna have to save the president from fucking I don't know what's his name? How am I forgetting his name? From Shaft. He did Shaft and Truck Turner.
Sam Jackson?
No, the original one. Anyways, I gotta go save the president from a prison island. Like, why isn't this happened yet? Why are we not on Mars like in Total Recall and there's not chicks with 3 boobs? I have to make this happen. Like that's honestly what the fuck this sounds like is some weird ass Gen X shit. Some weird ass boomer shit. They're pissed off cars don't fly yet. They're pissed off that we can't, turn coal into gold or whatever other bullshit that they were trying to do or they were sold when they watched some Schwarzenegger movie and now they want to try to just like force it to happen and it makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. But it sounds cool, so people are like, hell yeah, that sounds tight. I want to go to Mars. Fuck yeah. It's like, no, you don't. That would suck ass. Mars would suck ass. Oh, you could probably find some guys in like some UFC or Affliction t-shirts and a bunch of pants they buy at Buckle who'd be all for going to Mars.
Does Buckle still exist?
Yeah, Buckle still exists, and they are they are responsible for some of the worst dressed people. Just maybe not out there. I think that LA's like the LA California areas moved past it. But go into Grapevine Mills Mall. You got the Buckle is like 2 storefronts. They've expanded. Expansion part phase 3, fall of 2025. They have a sign up front. Like that's how tacky. It's so fucking tacky. That those people, hell yeah, dude. They're in. Me and my Von Dutch hat. We're going to Mars. It's like cool, dude. Awesome, Randy. Go have a fucking blast.
Why Randy?
Randy's just a dad name. Randy's just a dad name. You don't really hear that much anymore. Anybody who's named Randall now would just go by Randall. They're not gonna be like, call me Randy. Like that's not. It's just not happening. That is my go. That is one of my go-to cornball names, though. Is Randy? That's a.
I noticed.
It is, or Keith. Hey, Kevin, sit down, chill the fuck out. Like that's. But those are dad names. Therapy question number 2: you come in contact with an unknown tribe. Nobody knows they exist. You're wandering through the jungle for whatever fucking reason. I don't know, you're a white guy. And you're wandering through the jungle and you come across an unknown tribe. What do you do?
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, I try to figure out if they think I'm God and then play into that.
Okay.
But
right.
if they don't, I mean, it's like...
All right, we'll say they're not cannibals. So we'll say they're not cannibals. They're not going to kill you or eat you. That's pretty much all you know.
Maybe I show them my dog, the tattoo of my dog on my arm, and just maybe like relate.
They'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. He's got a dog. Hey, us too."
Oh, you know what I could do? I could pull up Chat GPT, and then have it like create an image of them. Blow their fucking minds. Then they'll think I'm God. I'll take a picture of them, upload it to ChatGPT, have them make a fucking yeah.
So you would use AI to trick the tribe into thinking
you're
God, and then what? I mean, do you just live with them, live amongst them as their God, or do you?
Of course, yeah, enslave.
Enslave. Wow.
Right. That's what you have to do. That's
that's the Anglo-Saxon in you. Yeah,
give them syphilis or something.
Jesus. Just rolling up on a tribe with syphilis. What's up, guys?
Yeah, I'd have to go get it and then come back. And then
I'll be right back. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. I gotta go hit up the red light district. Let me see what I can bring back for you. Yeah, I mean, I would try to communicate with them. I wouldn't want to trick them into thinking I'm their God. One thing I wouldn't do.
Well, I'm doing that like out of like a defense. Like I'm not gonna take on a whole tribe and they might be hostile unless they thought I was God.
And they wouldn't, like, you couldn't get away from them. I like their chances on running the average person down. Like that's
plus they like obviously know the area.
Yeah, like they're pretty cunning. So you'd have to try to ingratiate yourself with them. One thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't narc them out. When I did leave, I wouldn't tell anybody else where they were. If they were chill.
I mean, that depends how things go.
Yeah, if they were chill, I would be like, hey, leave. I could say something, but I'm not. But if they suck, I'm going to be like, hey, they're right there. They're like right over there. Just keep walking 50 miles that way. You'll bump into them. They're fucking weird. This guy named Randy. I don't know why he's there. He's tricked them into thinking that he's their God. Everybody's got...
no, that's Andy, not Randy.
Everyone's got syphilis.
On my side, it's frozen, but maybe others.
It's fucked up. Someone's got to put a stop to it. But I definitely would try to vibe with them, because at that point I've stumbled across them, and it'd be kind of rude to just like leave, be like, peace out, like, oh shit, and you just like turn around and walk away. I think that would make them hostile. Maybe they give me cool gifts, precious gems, gold, who knows.
Yeah, like when Captain Cook, I think James Cook, maybe, I don't know, Captain Cook, he landed in Hawaii, met the Hawaiians for the first time. Yeah, they were like doing a lot of trading, and then they were like robbing shit. I forget what, I think maybe like copper or something, some sort of metal that he had. they just kept stealing like off his boat when they were like sleeping, because he like posted up in Hawaii like for like months.
Yeah, and they're just like ganking his shit. Um, but that would be spooky as fuck if you were just wandering and stumbled across an unknown tribe that nobody knew existed. That would be kind of terrifying. And those still exist. I mean, there's a North Sentinel Island, which we've talked about, where it's like forbidden to contact them, forbidden to go there. They don't know how many people live there. It could be 50 people. It could be like 800. They have no idea. People get murdered going to North Sentinel Island in the Indian Ocean. It's like a militarized zone where if you like go up there, they'll like shoot your fucking boats down. But they throw spears and shit at helicopters. There's one story where 2 guys got marooned on the island because there was a shipwreck and they wound up there and they were both murdered on the beach. Like, landed on the beach. Oh man, we just made it to the land. I'm so glad we didn't drown in the ocean, and just got murdered by those guys. Then there was a crazy Christian missionary guy who's like, I'm gonna go spread the word of Christianity. He showed up and he got murdered on the rocks. So like, you can't really fuck with them, but in like the Amazon and stuff, there's still tribes that no one knows exist. There has to be. I feel like
it has to be.
I mean, mathematically, there are tribes that no one knows about. There has to be. There's no way. There's no way. There's not.
It's insane to me. It's insane that there is. Like, unless they're living in, like, I get like us not being able to explore the ocean like we want to, but you're telling me, come on, man.
No, I mean,
there might, like if you're telling me there's like a cure for every disease in the Amazon we don't know about, that's probably true, but people.
Yeah, I feel village type shit in the trees. It's the same like in the Congo, like the jungles of the Congo. We discover new animals every fucking day, and insects that we never knew existed. Fuck the ocean.
Not humans. Not humans.
No, I mean, I'd ask ChatGPT, but I'm not on one. Let me see. Are there...
We're now asking
undocumented. Yes, there are many uncontacted tribes, so uncontracted, but they estimate suggest between 100 and 200 such tribes, either non-contacted or unknown where they are. So they could be up to 200.
Unknown where they are, but they're known that they are.
I mean, you find like a chocla laying around in the jungle, and you're like, whose the fucks is this? Who's walking around out here in these homemade sandals?
Are we like doing these people a service by not contacting them? Are we sure? It's like, cause like think about it. Like, what if like, I don't know, like someone's dad kidnapped his whole family, took him to like the jungle, and then just like they kept breeding, and it was like a cult like type situation, but it just went on for so long that like now we're like, oh, that's just how they are. We just like can't, it's like, do they like, do you think that they'd still be in the jungle like fearing for their lives, like for like tigers to like eat them, like if they knew like that they could go to like the Four Seasons?
I don't know. I
mean,
probably not.
Hiding the real world from them.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they've hid themselves from the real world.
They don't know. They have no idea. They're just surviving.
That's like the movie Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, shout out Jungle to Jungle.
You know that there's 2 movies that came out at the exact same time. One's called Little Indian Big City, and one's called Jungle to Jungle. And they're the exact same movie, but with different actors.
I didn't know that.
You remember how we were talking about like Dante's Peak and Volcano?
Yeah, Dante's Peak.
Same movie, and they came out at the exact same time. Yeah, there's Little Indian Big City and Jungle to Jungle. If you watch, it's the same shit. Is like sons from, like it was like, I don't know, whatever. Like,
in Jungle to Jungle, he's like is he a kid of color, or is he just like a blonde haired long?
No,
he's like a white boy.
Isn't it Justin Taylor Thomas?
Jonathan Taylor. No. Yeah. JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No, because isn't it Tim Allen though?
Yeah, Tim Allen plays the dad for sure. That was like peak Tim Allen, which is still wild to me.
That's why I thought it was JTT, because he's in Home Improvement.
What's wild to me is that Tim Allen still did like hard time for trafficking
Cocaine.
cocaine back in the day, and then like narked a bunch of people out, and then turned it into a comedy career. That's pretty badass. Talk about a glow up. I actually saw Jungle to Jungle in the movie theaters as a kid.
Shout out.
Yeah, it was not that good.
Did you see that Sinbad genie movie too in the theaters? You liar.
Dude, I could have sworn. I think I figured out what it was though. Because there's Kazam with Shaq when Shaq plays the genie. There's Steel, where Shaq plays. I mean, he doesn't play. He plays Shaq in a metal outfit, where he's like is like in love with some white chick in a wheelchair who's good at welding. Wild movie. I think there's a movie where Sinbad dresses up as a genie. No, hold on, and not where he plays a genie. Like he's dressed up as a genie for something in the movie. I want to say it's First Kid.
You think this movie?
I haven't watched First Kid again.
No, he's not a genie in First Kid, dude. He's a Secret Service agent.
I know. I'm talking about for Halloween. He dresses up as a genie.
You think this?
I haven't rewatched First Kid. Another great movie that I saw in the movie theaters.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean Sinbad was only in so many movies that involved kids.
And you've now made up two. One where he's a genie, and one where he dresses as a genie, but he's not a genie.
I'm saying I think that happens in First Kid, but I'm not sure. I could have sworn I saw a movie where Sinbad plays a genie.
I'm happy to do research for the pod.
I'm not the only. I
love that movie.
I'm not the only person who got hit with that.
I saw that in the theaters too. Now that I think about it,
I'm not the only person who got hit with that Mandela effect shit on that, because I'm not the only person who could have sworn there was a Sinbad movie with him playing a genie. I'm not the only person. If I was the only person, like where he's had to answer questions about it multiple times, where people accuse Sinbad of lying, I would have been one of those people. I would have been like, you're fucking lying, dude. I saw it. I done seen it. So when they came out with the Shazam Marvel movie, where the little white boy plays an adult white kid, but he's a little kid, and he's like, oh, I got all these superpowers. Stupid as shit. That movie, I was like, they stole that title from that Sinbad movie. It's the first thing that popped in my head when I saw that movie come out. It's like, they stole that from that Sinbad movie. I was wrong. Totally wrong. But we should rewatch First Kid, because that movie's great. And then the kid who is the main character in that, there's a whole conspiracy wildness about that kid. He's also the same. Yeah, he's also the same kid in Blank Check. He's huge.
I was gonna say, isn't that Blank Check?
He's huge in cryptocurrency now, like big time in cryptocurrency, and like has all these like NFT shit. Like that dude's made a shit ton of money. What's his name? Brock something.
What do you mean he's huge in crypto? What does that even fucking mean? He just made a lot of money?
Yeah, like he's made a fuck ton of money, and what's his name? Brock Pierce. Yes, Brock Pierce. And yeah, now he's works in cryptocurrency industry. He's a co-founder of Tether.
Are you kidding?
No. What?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's one of the co-founders of Tether. He's like fucking loaded, dude.
Jesus Christ.
But he did a bunch of other weird shit whenever he was a kid. When he was younger, there was like this whole concept of doing like MTV interactive shit for kids, like this TV channel. There's a really good documentary called The Conspiracy of Silence that like swirls around him when he was a kid, and all these weird people, weird adults who were around him at the time, some of whom went to prison, some of whom did like X-Men and X-Men 2, and are directors, but all this weird, like with weird allegations with adults and kids. And he was like a part of that shit, where he was one of these kid actors who was like kind of balled up in it. It's super interesting, actually. And then the idea that they had was actually way ahead of its time, but it ended up collapsing the fuck out. But he's always been somebody who's like, I got a fresh idea, I got a new idea, trying to start businesses. And then he got huge in crypto. That's why I mean, like, he's big in crypto. It's like he's a co-founder of Tether. I don't know if it gets any bigger than that.
No, it really doesn't. Like if you think about like starting a coin, because there's only so many that are like even like remotely like have any utility to them, and I'd say Tether, I guess, is the biggest stable coin. Stable coin is like where they tie the price of the cryptocurrency to something, usually the dollar. So if every Tether is worth a dollar, only a dollar, and it'll only be worth a dollar. So if the dollar is more valuable one day, your Tether is more valuable, but that's it. And we actually talked about it on the podcast. Iron Ape, and he was a guest, and when the super producer was still here, it was like on episode 5, and we were talking about like, does Tether have? Because like at the time, I think it was like some little amount of money. It was like $600 million or something, and that they said, sort of like, so if everybody cashed in their Tether, do they have the 600 million to give to people? And they didn't. And now it's worth like 100 billion dollars or something crazy market cap. So egg on our face because we thought Tether was like a fucking Ponzi scheme. I mean, still might be.
In 2000, he was named in a civil lawsuit alleged of sexual abuse, but he was never criminally charged. Like, he's got all sorts of weird. There's a Hollywood Reporter article, The Strange Saga of Jeffrey Epstein's Link to Brock Pierce. He's a billionaire now, but he wants to now
Yeah.
he wants to be a, he's, associate of embattled X-Men director. So he was like a part of this group of kid actors who would go to these parties and drink and do all this weird shit. Bryan Singer was a director who did like X-Men, X-Men 2, did a bunch of other stuff like the original X-Men with like Halle Berry as Storm, arguably one of the best castings ever, and was tied to all of that, and then kind of got caught up in this like swirl shit. But he was a kid at the time, so it was almost like it wasn't like his fault, but he was like around for some of this weird shit. Then he kind of fizzled off and was always looking for something, and then hit it huge on the crypto. And now he's talking about running for president. So there you go. First kid.
He had a water slide in his room in blank chat.
And he was also in Mighty Ducks, and he's like a total douchebag in Mighty Ducks, so go figure.
Adam Banks?
Maybe.
Cake eater.
Therapy question number 3, and this is like probably be a little bit longer of a topic because we'll bring up the fact that Joe Biden has been announced that he has metastasized cancer. Crazy. Stage 4, hyper aggressive. And there's been all sorts of wild shit being said about it. But therapy question number 3, have politics become too tribal and too inhumane on both sides, not just one side? We obviously lean left, but I'm just curious, has it just gotten out of control? Because if it was Trump who it came out that he had like ass cancer, I don't think we'd be that upset about it. And that's...
Bro, he almost got assassinated. I wasn't that upset about it.
Allegedly.
I guess. I mean, yeah, obviously, like on the right. I don't know why you're saying both sides. Like, I mean,
because it goes both ways. It's like that's
okay. So it's like if you have like a toxic, like you have a toxic, abusive husband, and so you're like super anti the husband. Does that make you too tribal and inhumane? It's like we have like a crazy right wing fucking lunatic party. So you have to forgive people if they don't want to if they don't like them on the left. But at the same time, I mean, like, like Bill Maher says this shit. It's like you can hate Trump, but like you can't hate everybody who voted for Trump. And I agree with that. It's like I don't give a shit if somebody's voted for Trump like at all, because it's like whatever. It's like that's your choice. Like if you're like in my face like MAGA asshole, well that's different. But like if it's like my mom voted for Trump, but like that sucks. She did that, but like I don't like hold it against her. Well, I don't know, maybe because it's my mom, maybe I do, but
Yeah.
somebody like that.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. I would say definitely, and it's definitely on both sides, because like you just said, is President Trump allegedly almost got assassinated, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
people who were like,
but
"Oh,
that guy
damn."
was gonna no, that guy was gonna try to assassinate Biden. He looked up like when the Democratic National Convention was, where it was. We looked up, he was looking up like different like people to like. He was just looking to kill somebody.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying is that happened, and we weren't like, "Oh my god," we were like, "Oh shit."
Well, yeah, because he's an asshole. Like when I okay, what's so funny is like when I was a copier salesperson, like it was the first job I had out of college. So think about that's how long Trump's been around. Well, and that's how long I was in college too. But uh, I was in the office. I just like got hired, and my manager, he was like part owner, but he was like also like the head sales manager. He's like the nicest dude in the world. Like just super friendly guy and like just like wholesome. And he says to me, this is like when Trump's running for president the first time. He's like me and my buddy JT who got hired the same day, and but we're just like randomly, we're just like doing something in the office. But he goes, guys, like I think, or maybe it was right after he got elected. He goes, I think Donald Trump might get assassinated. He's like, because he's such an asshole. And he like looks both left and right, like for saying the word asshole, because like that's how nice of a guy is. But even he was saying he's such an asshole that he might get assassinated. And that was fucking almost 10 years ago.
No, I mean, but devil's advocate, we've also seen the Democrats do super goofy shit, super
I
weird
agree.
shit, like to where that's why I say it's both sides. Like I think Bernie Sanders just did an
Yeah. I
interview
mean,
with the other Schultz on his podcast, and he was like, do you think that the Democrats are also a threat to democracy because they're like not?" And he was like, I'm not going to disagree with you. And that's because he got screwed out of his nomination. Technically, you could say twice. Then putting Kamala, who's not that popular of a politician in general, up for the presidential seat after they tried to shuffle Joe Biden out there. Now it comes out that Joe Biden's got stage 4 cancer. I mean, there was a couple. I think it was a
how
couple.
do you get to stage 4 when you're the president? It's like, yeah, is he not getting scans
Well,
all the
that's
time?
and
Like,
that's the big thing on the right now is like they knew that he had cancer. They just weren't telling anybody. They were lying about it. There was a press conference Biden gave maybe like 3 years ago or something where he said like I have cancer, and then was like oh, and then everyone was like oh you just misspoke, and now it's like he's got cancer. So I mean
3 years ago.
something like that. So that's where it's the whole
What?
thing. I'm not. I mean, that's like it's a whole fucking thing. But I would say yes, and they have become inhumane because there are people who are just applauding and cheering and are happy that this 80-year-old man, 80-something-year-old man's got cancer, like metastasized to the bone cancer. That's fucked up. And then just like it would be fucked up if something did happen to our current president and everybody was cheering in the streets. That would be fucked up. Like there's like a desensitization
I
to
think it'd be fucked up that we got to that point, but I mean, but it'd be understandable.
no, but I mean, but what I'm saying is, as human beings, that would be we are so desensitized to that I think that that's a problem. Just in general, it doesn't matter who it is. The fact that we would applaud if something did happen to
No,
any.
no, that's not true. No, that's not. That's because of the empathy of humans. It's because Donald Trump is more of a problem alive. That's why
Be
you'd be
careful,
celebrating it. Because
careful,
uh,
dude. Yeah, be careful
that's
saying
why
shit.
people would be celebrating is because it's like the fucking evilness has stopped. Okay, you like are humans desensitized and inhumane for celebrating like when Hitler killed himself? No, that's people celebrating because they love humans, and this dude's killing humans. Trump's shipping people off to South Sudan, where there's a fucking famine and a civil war.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Those are terrible things. I'm not. I'm just speaking in generalities in the sense that I do think that as a culture, especially in the political sphere, the division has gotten worse and worse. And obviously, him being in office has made it worse than making it better. Wouldn't disagree with that at all. I think that's half of his ploy is to make it as divided as possible. It's easier to.
Well, that's the whole Republican Party ploy is to make is to divide you on race, on religion. Like it's like that's your boy Bernie talked about it. He's like they can't win on their fucking like cut taxes for billionaires, so they're gonna like push like the transgender shit, divide, 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 and conquer, because they don't have good ideas.
Fair. Ooh, excuse me. But I would say that yeah, I think in general it has become too tribal and too inhumane, pointing both sides. Because if something happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody would be like, good, blah blah. They would be stoked, and that in its.
Yeah, but name like a normal person on the right
There are
that would
people
have
that are
to
happy that George Santos is going to federal prison. That's
name a normal person.
That is a problem. It doesn't get more normal than George. Boy, George.
Come on, dude. You're
Georgie
picking-
boy, dude. How dare you? Friend
you're
of the
picking
pod. Friend of the
Taylor
pod.
Greene.
It's gotten so bad that someone from the right can't disagree with the right without being expelled. And
That's their fault.
And it's the same on the left. You can't disagree with the majority of the left and still be considered on the left.
Well, I do it all the time.
That is pretty fucked up that he's got cancer, though. And yeah, I mean, I feel like they knew way ahead of time. I think they probably found out and were like, hey, this motherfucker's got cancer. And that's really when they were like, dude, you got to get the fuck out of the race. I could see that being one, besides his mental decline. Yes, absolutely.
No, because like he was obviously like not all there, so that would have been a reason to get out. Not like, oh, they might find out you have cancer.
Well, no, being like, hey,
no, they just thought he was gonna lose.
Hey, you got no, because if you put Joe Biden in there with Kamala Harris as a VP, then he gets cancer, he dies of cancer, and she becomes president. Every right-wing conspiracy theorist who's like they're just propping him up there to get her in, and this is their whole agenda. The Democrats are just trying to weasel her in there. They would have a field day with it.
Well, you're saying that would have been the case because they knew he had cancer.
Yeah, that's what it's. I mean, that's what it seems like.
So they would have been right.
Mm-hmm. The last thing we want is these crazy motherfuckers to be right.
No, that's fine. I'll take that over Trump getting reelected.
But then he just would have gotten reelected later. And we've been like, see, I told you guys.
He doesn't have much time, bro. He's like 80.
I told everybody this was going to happen. Sleepy Joe. But, I mean, the whole situation is sad. That sucks. I mean, he's been in public service for over 50 years. To have that, and then to get the hate and the vitriol that he's been receiving from people in, like, the news, the journalism, and political sphere is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching the news.
Because if that happened to somebody on the right, we would be jeering and saying the same goofy shit. So it doesn't, like, I get it.
No, we wouldn't. I just disagree with you. Like, it's just not true.
You don't think so?
No, like I feel like people were like felt bad for Trump when he got shot on the left, like, and they didn't like it. They didn't like that they felt bad. Like, no, when an 84-year-old man gets prostate cancer, like I don't know what's the surprise to anybody other than the fact that it's stage 4 when they found out. Like that's the surprising part. I don't know. I guess maybe I have an aversion to the tribalness nowadays, and so that's why I'm just trying to like will it that it's not too bad, but you're probably right.
I think it is. It totally is.
Yeah.
To where there's be people on the left who were like, AOC's crazy. People were saying that, and she's just like, I just have new ideas, and I think y'all are all a bunch of schmucks. Like, there's corruption.
I'd say that she's so woke that she needs an Ambien.
There's corrupt, like Bernie Sanders said it the other day, there's corruption on both sides of the aisle. There's billionaires on both sides of the aisle that do goofy shit, and that are pushing their own agenda, which it is what it is. You can agree with one more than the other, But at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. That's what's happening. That's what's been
The
happening.
Trump family has increased their wealth since January by $3 billion. That's $1 billion a month that the Trumps have made since he's been back in office. Don't tell me there's corruption on both sides. There's corruption on one side. Nancy Pelosi, she does her little stock picking. Trump,
Well, they all do their little stock picking.
yeah, exactly.
They
But
all,
if it's illegal, I don't know why anybody's like complaining about it. It's like either make it illegal or shut up.
yeah, true. Therapy question number 4: cats or dogs?
Dogs, dude. What are we talking about? Like, I mean, I don't feel like you have to choose though. Like the shorty had two cats and they're chill, and I'm fine with it.
I think they're both, I'd say, equal, but a really fucking cool cat is cooler than a cool dog.
No.
Yes, absolutely. Cats are like the ultimate hunting machine. They're a murder machine that we've
Yeah, but why do I need a murder machine in my house?
domesticated, and now they just like vibe with us. But a really cool like indoor outdoor cat, or a really cool just neighborhood cat that lives outside all the time, that is cool as fuck. A cool cat beats a cool dog any day of the week. Because dogs are great, but dogs, there's this unconditional love where they'll love you no matter what you do. Cats are like fucking people. So you can meet a lot of assholes. When you meet a cool fucking person, you're like, hell yeah, bro. And that's what cats are. Cats are cool as shit. Cats will bring you gifts. Now, sometimes they're like dead birds, shit they kill. They'll bring you like, oh, I brought you this bird that I murdered to let you know that like we're homies. And like dogs don't do that unless you train them to do that. But a cat, just a stray cat, could be like, hey, this guy's my friend. I'm gonna bring you a dead baby bird I snatched out of a tree, 45 feet up in the air. That's badass. That's cool as shit.
I mean, there is the term cool cat, so it's hard to argue with.
And cats can be, in theory, tougher. Cats are definitely tougher. You don't want, I mean, obviously, you don't want a pack of wild dogs running around your neighborhood because who knows what the fuck they'll do. They're very erratic and crazy. But pack of wild cats, I mean, you just leave them alone. They won't fuck with you. They want nothing to do with you. There's like, cats have zero interest in you or they're all about you. That's where I'm like, they're particular. As where dogs are just like, you're a person, love you. Or they're like, not treated well, because I think all dogs are inherently sweet. So, or you don't treat it well and then it becomes just like a crazy ass fucking dog. But I mean, that's way more of a reflection of its owner than it is like of the dog itself, you know? How it was treated, raised, whatever. But a cat, you can get a cat, and cats have like their own personality and are pretty fucking intense, man. I've always been pro both, but I mean, I always like, I really want a cool cat that's like that lives inside and outside and comes and goes as it pleases, does whatever the fuck it wants because it's gonna take care of itself. That's cool as shit. I always thought that was cool, like a barn cat. Those are fucking badass, dude. No way.
Quick Draw had one, Caddy. It lived outside, but it was a street cat. But then it would just like lived in their garage, I guess.
Yeah,
And he would just like come back with like a gashes like on his head, like he'd just be in a street fight like every now and then.
yeah. They have territory. They're fucking gangsters, dude. And there's a good meme going around, but it's like cats also don't work for the cops, so
Yeah, no, I saw that.
they get props for that shit too.
That cut me deep.
Yeah, but it's true. And dude, cats are fucking badass. They have their own universe. Like for dogs, it's like take them to the dog park. That, like I said, it's always a wild card because not everybody raises their dog correctly. Or even my biggest pet peeve at the dog park is you bring your dog there, you let it off the leash, and you just don't pay attention to it. I'm like, whose fucking crazy ass fucking dog is this? They're like, oh, sorry, that's mine. I'm like, come get your shit, dude. But a cat, like if there was a cat park, that'd be crazy. There'd be street fights. It'd be wild. They'd be teaming up, or they'd like, yeah. Cats don't need humans for entertainment. Dogs need a human for that interaction and entertainment. Cats are like, whatever. I'm running away. I'm never coming back. I'll see you in a week. And then they come back all fucked up, like, oh man, I got in this fight. And you're like, oh damn. And they're like, all right, I'm healed up, peace out. And they just like leave. They're like, I don't know, like a cool uncle you see every couple months. Like the cool indoor outdoor cats. Now there are, if you can also have too many cats. I mean, how many cats is too many? Just like how many dogs is too many?
Well, you know what I have to say though? I think if it was the other way around, I don't think a cat would let in 24 old ladies,
No.
you know.
He'd be like, nah, bro. Like, I got room for one of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You don't even pay rent.
I think more than two cats is too many.
More than two? Yeah, that's fair. Because cats are messy as shit. That's also why I've always been pro inside outside cat. Like if you had a doggy door that it could go out of, that'd be tight. Because they're messy as shit. Their pee is like the most lethal shit in the world. But I mean, they get high on catnip. That's cool as fuck. Like they're, I don't know, man. They're
You know
like,
what's funny is the Shorty's cats, they look exactly the same. And so I knew that she had two cats, but I just always thought I'd never seen the other cat. But I'd seen them both. I'd seen them both. I just never saw them like at the same time, you know? So I didn't realize that I'd seen both.
and somebody could have a cat and it not like people, and you never know. You could be at their house for a year and never see their cat. But if someone has
That's
a dog,
crazy.
and think about it though, it's true. But if someone has a dog and it doesn't like people, you gotta lock it up. You gotta put it outside. A cat's just like, I don't fuck with these people. I'm out. I'm gonna go sleep under the bed for 12 hours. Come back and eat some food. They might fuck with you and be like, meow. Like, and you're like, oh, are we gonna be friends now? And it's like, nah, fuck you. And it hisses at you and dips. You're like, that. There's something cool. There's something human about a cat that dogs don't really have.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're pro more dog than cat, but hopefully I made a good case because I want a cat, bro. I want a cat so bad. But I know. But Topanga'd probably eat the cat fucking alive. Like Topanga is probably the most. If Topanga was a woman that I knew in my life, she'd be the most toxic woman I've ever met in my entire life. I would not fuck with her, but she's my sweetie and I love her. But she is so moody that if I got a cat, she'd try to eat that shit in a second, for sure, and she would. Seen her kill a skunk, avoid the spray. She sidestepped. Crazy. Topanga is afraid of the bath. She's afraid of rain. So sensitive that if she like screws something up and she sees that you find it, she's like in the corner, like, oh my god, like having a panic attack. Like I need to put this dog on like some Zoloft or some shit. But when you get her outside on that leash, if she sees something that's not a dog that she knows or just not a dog, I mean, it's instant. So one morning she was freaking out by the back door and I was like, all right, like I got up early, was gonna take her out to go pee, open up the door, she beelines it for the back corner of the backyard in the house I was living in at the time. She takes off for the back corner and there's a light, so I can see there's a fucking skunk back there, pretty big too. And I'm like, no, like Topanga, fuck off. And she gets this like tunnel vision where she just goes like full wolf mode. So she is sprinting as fast as she can to the corner. I see the skunk squat, turn around to spray her, and right when it does, she does this like jump sidestep move. So it sprays and she's like turn around and just chomp its head. Whop! In one foul just chomp, and it just goes limp. She shakes it a bunch, throws it against the fence, and then just comes back and is like, hey. I was like, oh my fucking god. Luckily she was fine. She had all of her shots, but one of the craziest things I've ever seen is she literally like matrixed the skunk spray, and I watched it in full time. I've seen her dig holes in the ground. I mean, she better not fucking do this here, but dig holes deep in the ground and pull moles out. She can hear them under the ground, and she will dig down like 3.5 feet and pull out live moles. So what the one, she's like I said, she's kind of a pussy. So the first time I got her not being a pussy, I was like, what is she doing in the corner of the yard? I go out there and I hear this like, meh, meh. And she's just sitting there. She's got a mole that she's pulled up out of the ground. It's laying on its back, and she's just smacking the shit out of it, just slapping it with her paws because she's like part boxer, and just like toying with this thing. I was like, "What are you doing?" And she's happy. She's just like got a big smile, tail wagging, and I was like, "All right, you do you." And I just walked away. I just left it.
Wow, you walked away?
Because she was being tough. I was like, about time. Like, that's right. My baby girl's a killer. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to save this mole that was tearing up the yard. But, because I was always like, why is she digging these huge fucking holes? These, like, deep tunnels. Like, am I that terrible? Nah, bro. She was catching moles so she could, like, play with them and torture them to death. It was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And that was pre-skunk. Then I saw her kill a skunk. Seen her catch a squirrel, like catch a squirrel in a dead sprint. She's that fast. It's pretty impressive. But run the bathtub, dude. We're hiding. I'm hiding. Run that bathtub. I'm out, bro. I can't. No break because we only have 2 articles.
Oh my god.
What? That's you, dude. Do you need me to? Do we need to swap? I think we do need to swap and let me do articles. You do therapy questions because we swapped this a while ago.
That's fine.
I think we need to flip flop it back.
That's fine. Okay. First of 2 articles from The Atlantic by Ali Breland and Mateo Wong. The day Grok told everyone about white genocide. What in the world just happened with Elon Musk's chatbot? Yesterday, a user on X saw a viral post of Timothy Chalamet celebrating courtside at a Knicks game and had a simple question. Who was sitting next to him? The user tapped in Grok, X's proprietary chatbot, as people often do when they want to help answering questions on the platform. The software functions like GPT, except it can be summoned via reply to a post. And for the most part, Grok has performed reasonably well at providing responses, but not yesterday. Chalamet was sitting with Kylie and Kendall Jenner, but here's how the chatbot replied. I believe you're referring to a photo with Timothy Chalamet, but the context you mentioned doesn't seem to align with this image. The post discusses South African politics, which doesn't relate to Timothy or the people around him. Nothing in the photo or post referenced South Africa or politics. Grok spit out similar answers to many queries for a large chunk of time yesterday, randomly contorting its responses to mention white genocide in South Africa, apparently in reference to controversial claims about incidences of violence against some of the country's white farmers. When one user asked Grok for analysis on a video of a small, cute pig, the chatbot offered this explanation. The topic of white genocide in South Africa is highly contentious. Claims of systematic targeting of white farmers exist, with farm attacks averaging 50 murders yearly, often cited as evidence. Some argue these are racially driven, pointing to rhetoric like kill the Boer. Boer is the term used to refer to Afrikaners, descendants of Dutch, German, or French settlers in the country. Nothing in the video or the accompanying text mentions South Africa, white genocide, or kill the Boer. Ever since Elon Musk bought Twitter and renamed it X, the platform has crept further into the realm of outlandish and unsettling. Porn spam bots are rampant, and Nazi apologia, which used to be extremely hard to find, frequently goes viral. But yesterday, X managed to get considerably weirder. For hours, regardless of what users asked the chatbot about, memes, ironic jokes, Linux software, many queries to Grok were met with a small meditation on South Africa and white genocide. By yesterday afternoon, Grok had stopped talking about white genocide, and most of the posts that included the tangent had been deleted. Why was Grok doing this? We don't know for sure, but Musk and X's parent company, XAI, did not respond to requests for comment. Several hours after publication, XAI posted on X explaining that an unauthorized modification had been made to the system prompt for the Grok bot on the platform without specifying who made the change. XAI is now publicly sharing its system prompts on GitHub and says it will adopt additional measures to ensure similar unauthorized change does not happen in the future. The glitch is all the more curious considering the white genocide in South Africa is a hobby horse for Musk, who himself is from South Africa. At various points over the past couple of years, Musk has posted about the belief in the existence of a plot to kill white South Africans. What do you think?
I mean, obviously it was him injecting that shit into it.
That's so weird. No, not weird. It's like so. Oh, it's just weird that like they did it so poorly that like it was just like anything you ask Rocket would talk
It's
about
like,
white genocide.
did you know that white people are dying in South Africa? Because I mean, and we just
Because
brought
well, like Trump, yeah, we just brought in refugees,
from South.
alleged refugees.
I watched this one guy who was like sponsored a South African family who was over there. Then they came to America. They lived in his house, and he was like, all they've been doing is like mooching off of me. Like they're not doing shit. They don't want to get jobs. I'm just paying for all their stuff. They're just watching movies all day. This might be an isolated case, but I mean, I don't know what. South Africa has a history, you know, an apartheid state. The most disadvantaged people in that country are black people. So it's interesting that
I think it's like I think it's like 7% of the population is white, and they own 2/3 of all the property in South Africa.
I mean, we can always ask Sticky. He lived there for a while, behind a gated community with a guard with a gun. I mean, it's one of the most crime. I mean, what Johannesburg is one of the most dangerous cities.
Yeah, that's fine, but like that's not genocide.
No, no, no. I know, but what I'm just saying is that it's been disproportionately been like financially beneficial for the white people that live in South Africa. Like that's just
Yes.
that's just the way it is. And it was structured that way a long time ago. So even when they got rid of or they were done with the apartheid state, there's still things that carry the fuck over. It's like living in the Jim Crow South almost. So there's people who don't like that property that was illegally gotten is being taken away. They don't like that there's stuff being set out and laid out for Africans, like black South Africans that live there, and they're just claiming genocide. They're just like crying wolf. It's fucking annoying. So we brought a bunch of these people over here, and it doesn't sound. I feel like Musk has got to help push that narrative because we're bringing in refugees from other cities, from another country. We're bringing in refugees from Africa, but they're white, and we're anti-refugee right now, unless you're white and you're from South Africa. Like it's just weird. It's just weird as shit. It's just so hypocritical. It's not even funny. I mean, Stephen Miller's doing his best to try to spin this shit, and obviously Elon Musk is pro South African white people because I mean, you know, him and his family exploited black labor of children to dig out emeralds out of mines, and that's how he made his money. I'll bring that up for forever because it's true.
Dude.
And his dad married his stepsister. You know, whatever. But that's poorly executed. That's like so bad. It's like asking Grok a question about how to make a good apple pie, and it's telling you about white genocide in South Africa. It's like way off topic.
I said we skip this last article.
Why do you say that?
My back hurts.
Oh.
I've like worked really hard the last 2 days. I didn't get home till 9 o'clock last night. I'm a poolman.
Well, the last article was about the Take It Down Act that was signed. That was Trump signs Take It Down Act into law, getting rid of AI deepfakes, and like revenge porn. I'm pro that.
Yeah, they like sailed through Congress, bipartisan.
Yeah, and then they just did the no tax on tips, which I don't think really helps at all. You're just gonna owe that money later.
I mean, it'll help somebody. But it's just fucked up. It's like, what about the dishwasher, dude? He doesn't make tips, so you're gonna tax the dishwasher, you're not taxing the servers. You know, it's like that's kind of like where you can make the argument. But I mean, as a server, I'd take it.
Oh well,
Not
yeah.
that I'm a server now, but I mean, I was for a long time.
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. But yeah, I mean we don't have to delve into it since you're an old man and your back hurts. Sorry. No, you're fine. I'm sorry to hear that you're falling apart.
Right
You're
now,
falling
like
apart, old
sitting.
man. You're falling apart, old man.
I just need to drink some water, I think.
Just get a fucking chair that's closer to the Wi-Fi.
Hey, meditate, bitches. Maybe I'll start doing it from the garage.
That'd be tight, dude. Garage scene. I could.
I do have a couch in there.
Well, I'm about to move this behemoth underneath.
Not really a couch, but
I got to reconfigure everything, so I'm about to move this big fuck off machine underneath my desk so I can rearrange some shit because I'm trying to get it to where I have my big 4K camera set up and I can sit in this like Chase Lounge love seat thing that I can do it and then do it all remotely. And then I'm going to put you on that 52-inch HD TV behind me, so whenever I talk to it, the camera will be there and you'll be on a bigger screen and I can run everything wirelessly. I think I got it set up, but I got to move this big fuck off 80-pound chunk of computer that's driving me nuts. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I didn't want to do it today because we had the pod. No, I'm serious. I was like, I'll do it at some point. I'm not doing it right now. It's going to take forever.
meditate, bitches.
Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. If you want to donate some money to help Andy with his upcoming back surgery, that'd be awesome because this old man's falling the fuck apart. But as always, we appreciate you guys checking us out. I mean, this has been fun. We're at 180. We're creeping close to 200. What? That's crazy. That is so many episodes. So, you know, just keep following along, you guys. We appreciate you. And shout out Chad. Still, I'm stoked that Chad listens to the pod. That's pretty cool.
Shout out Chad.
Yeah, I want to pick up a country that like doesn't. So I don't know. Does Belarus listen? Come on.
Yes, they're like no, like, dude, they're high up on the rankings.
Damn, dude.
It's weird.
All right, shout out Belarus then. Let's go. I don't know. Someone who doesn't listen, Greenland, start listening.
Yeah.
Or we'll invade you.
Motherfucks.
Y'all be good, stay safe, and as always, go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.
Recording stopped.
The old man.
I know. It's killing me. I was like, later.